Why aren't you self-employed? Why do you continue to work for an employer that you don't like working for? Why do you continue to work for less money than you deserve? Well, some interesting things about what prohibits or keeps people from becoming entrepreneurs or venturing out on their own and starting their own company is that we're trained at a very young age to work for someone else. You were born, mom and dad told you what to do. You got into elementary school, grade school, high school, teachers told you what to do. You either went to work or college and somebody else was telling you what to do. So at what point in our journey do we ever start telling ourselves what to do? We get used to taking direction from others instead of giving it to others. But then when we get a spouse, kids, a mortgage, obligations, a job makes us feel safe because we get that check every other Friday. Or our job provides insurance for us and we need that insurance for our families. Or we have the 401k, which makes us feel stable because now we have a retirement plan. I think it was Lori Grenier from Shark Tank who said, entrepreneurs work 12 hours a day doing whatever they want so they don't have to work 8 hours a day being told what to do by somebody else. So true. And I want to encourage you, if you've been considering venturing out, starting your own company, becoming an entrepreneur, I want to encourage you to do that. Now, during the most recent pandemic, it was pretty interesting what happened. If you recall, it was March 22nd of 2021. During that single week, 6.65 million people were laid off. Just the week before, 3.34 million laid off. 11 million people unemployed in the blink of an eye. Most entrepreneurs, however, just kept doing their thing. They had to. They didn't have a choice. They had a company to run. They had employees to pay. Paul Zane Pilzer said this. He said, in today's world, working for yourself is actually the safer route, and working for a corporation has become the riskier proposition. Now, I've been self-employed going on almost 30 years, and I can tell you that not a single morning have I woken up and felt like I should demote myself today. Not once have I woken up and say, you know what, Lee's not getting it done. He should probably get fired. Most days I wake up and think, you know, that Lee's doing an amazing job. We should promote him. You know what, Lee deserves to make more money. He should get a raise. And that's the beauty and the joy of being self-employed. Self-employment is safer because there's job security. You are the job security. What's safer than signing your own checks? Your income is based solely on your own continued efforts and faithfulness to showing up every day. Now, personally, I show up every day in sickness and in health because my livelihood and my family's livelihood is dependent upon how I work. My family's livelihood depends on it, and I love it. Self-employment is safer because you have tons of freedom to explore all income outlets at all hours of the day. And you're not pigeonholed to one job description or one set of hours or certain days of the week or genre of work. You know, what's worse than being invited to go somewhere and saying, oh, I can't, I have to work that day? Or going to your employer and saying, hey, could I have this week off? And they go, no, we need you here. You can't take that week off. And you miss anniversaries and you miss reunions and you miss kids' sports and whatever else it is because somebody else is dictating and controlling your schedule. Self-employment is on the uptick. And this was true even before the pandemic and even more true after the pandemic. Why? Because traditional jobs don't offer as much compensation as they once did. I mean, let's be honest, living on anything less than 6 figures is becoming more and more challenging, which is probably why you're watching this video, because you know you need an income stream outside of job. We all know that wage growth has been minimal, despite rising housing and education costs, and employers, they've been having to cut back on traditional employee benefits in response to the rising healthcare costs and the slow productivity growth in the US since 1980. Also, technology has made it easier to run a business from home. And I'm going to show you how to use technology to run your real estate from home in just a few moments. Now, here are some stats that you need to be aware of. 3 in 10 US jobs are held by the self-employed and the workers that they hire. Also interesting to note, about 44 million Americans are currently self-employed. Small businesses have generated over 65% of the net new jobs since 1995. It's not the Microsofts or the Amazons or the Pfizers of the world that are creating the bulk of new jobs coming online. It's people like you who just got sick and tired of being sick and tired and said, you know what? I need to start my own company. I need to finally venture out and do that thing that I love and get paid to do it. 59.9% of the self-employed are happy within their power to change things versus the 44.3% of traditional workers who are incredibly unhappy in their job. Also interesting to note, 22% of self-employed professionals have multiple revenue streams compared to 11% who work for an employer. The source for this is all coming out of Forbes magazine. Simply put, poor people do what's easy now, which makes life hard later. And let's be honest, the easiest thing for you to do right now is to continue going to your job and punching the clock and working your 40 hours a week and coming home and doing whatever you want on the weekends. But rich people, those who are successful and have money, it's because they did what was hard now, which makes their life easier later. Now, is it going to be challenging to work a full-time job while starting something on the side? Yes, but isn't it better to do it now versus later? I believe that you want to be rich. I believe that you want to provide more for your family. And I believe that it is through self-employment and entrepreneurialism that you're going to finally be able to do that. If you'd like to learn more about starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, click the link down below to get more information.